So today we're talking about alcohol.
We're doing it.
We're doing the thing, and
Hey, okay.
dude, it's a good topic. It's such a good topic.
Should we start with I don't drink, haven't drunk for coming up to nearly 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Just so that's that's where my base is.
Yeah,
And I'll be happy to maybe talk about my background in booze, which is also good.
that's always the juicy
You
bit.
know.
That's what everyone wants to know.
Well, yeah, because
I went into it a bit last week.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because it's interesting. Hey, I sort of want to caveat early, there's no judgment. Because when it can come across in that way.
Yeah, so that's what I want to say, and I'm obviously happy. I probably should have said this before we started, but I'm happy to say it now. Is I think we should focus this about us.
Mm-hmm.
All the I statements today.
My journey.
We can judge each other if we want. That's cool.
Yeah.
But let's not talk about what other people are doing.
No,
let's talk about ourselves.
Beautiful. Great.
And our own experience.
What do you drink? Alcohol?
I don't drink alcohol.
How long has it been?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have an exact date on it. I mean, maybe that's a good place to start, right? Let's talk about when we stopped and how that happened.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. So for me, I noticed a decline when Axel was born. We moved to Cornwall. COVID happened. We had a baby. Obviously, there was no socializing. A big chain of events that meant alcohol was no longer maybe it's like an opportunity piece, right? Like the opportunity didn't come up, so the habit was broken, which we can get into what it is, because I believe it was a habit for me, but there wasn't many opportunities. So during the Axel early days, it would more be, I'll have a glass of wine with Sunday dinner. But other than that, kind of nothing, no binge drinking, anything like that.
Okay, so it's already a pretty low consumption.
At that point. No, at that point, as a result of that. Yeah. Before that, no. When I was in London, it was still high, which is why Axel was probably created.
Okay, hey, cool.
So, not the pure reason, but one of the catalysts.
Not why, how.
Yeah, how. Yeah. It's one of the pieces of the puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
And then, it kind of, obviously, Morgan was then breastfeeding, and then it wasn't long before she was pregnant with Gigi, then breastfeeding again. And it kind of, you fall out of the habit, fell out of love with it, noticed that it wasn't a lot of realizations in terms of, wow, I can't believe I was doing that and how I feel now. And then I remember going to my first proper sober event, which was a friend's wedding from uni. So that was up north. I guess that was probably 3 years ago. And I literally had the best time of my life. I was one of the first on the dance floor, last to leave, didn't have any trouble with conversation or anything, and woke up the next day at 7 feeling fantastic. Well, not fun, bit tired, but not hungover at all, and then just got on with my day. From then, living that experience, I was convinced. Then it was stags, weddings, just going out with mates, going to a restaurant.
All of the hardest parts to be sober.
And for me, it's still not black and white. I haven't drank. I mean, that's not even true. Have I drank a sip of alcohol in those 3 years? Yes. I went to the stag and someone was like, "Oh, this is an amazing bottle of wine. It's £100 bottle of wine." Oh, cool. I'll have a sip.
Nice. So intentional.
Because I don't have an addictive personality or an extreme personality. I can exist in the grey area.
Nice.
But I haven't been actually drunk for 3 years, and I've probably had no more than a sip of a beer or a glass of wine in that time.
Nice.
What about you, Jeff?
Yeah, beautiful, because we could then start, and then maybe chapter 2 is how is it affecting our life and what it is, some of those things. So my backstory is, I am an addicted. I do have an addictive personality, current addiction, coffee. And booze was just maybe part of life as a teenager growing up in England. Drinking in the park, whatever, just booze. And it's not even, the weird thing is, it's not weird to be we were 14, 15 and drinking a bottle of whatever we found in mum's cupboard. I was me too. That's not cool in my judgment. So that's that was my background. And then, growing up, and it's how I socialized and met girls and And then we were living in Sri Lanka, which is what I've been away now for a year, and I'm really looking at it's a bit of a lost boys paradise. You go there to escape, to run away from the grind and the whatever your life is, typically from a Western country, You go there so I can surf all day and do yoga. And that also comes with and we can talk about this, maybe the masks of booze and smoking and just staying up late. So the story, it always gets dark between 6 and 6:30 p.m. in Sri Lanka. So the night comes quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like, well, I'm not ready for bed and we're not quite done. What am I going to do? So we just cracks the beers out. And they have lion beers there and they come in these hats, very clever. Like you can get the big cans, but they come in half cans. So like, let's have a little lion. And suddenly I've had 6 lions. It's only like 8 o'clock, 8:30. And that would just be regular. And I would be like, oh, well, I'm surfing and I'm fine. Very much like you. We got pregnant. Jessamine stops drinking. And I'm like, well, I feel a bit of a dick getting drunk while she's on water. We're not coming out. So I would still drink and would end up out. And like I said before, I'd go for a drink and suddenly I've had like 4 or 5 beers and I'm a bit pissed and have to get a taxi home. And I was like, and then coming home with a pregnant wife, and then Avila was born. There was a period where I stopped doing that, but as things got back to normal, I was just like, this isn't cool. And then I realized, and then Jessamine was, later on breastfeeding. Maybe just she's like, oh, I really want a Aperol spritz. I can't remember how you say it. The big fancy orange.
Yeah.
So that's what she had a craving for. We're like, great. Went out, had a couple of those. She's like, she had to take her home, to not drunk for a year and a half. And I'm like, and these questions, what's this for? This is all part of my, like, we'll say conscious awakening of like wanting deeper connection with people and just going out and being like, blah, blah, surfing, let's be silly and play a silly game. I'm like, I'm 40 something years old. Why am I still doing this? Like, whatever everyone else did, why am I still doing this? Wanting to share some of the heavy stuff that was going on. But what I noticed is then I was able to do that when everyone was hammered. Oh, and you maybe remember these conversations. Oh, bro, I'm fun. You have these like drunk, tearful, and then everyone forgets about it the next day, and you certainly don't bring it up. Like, oh, Joe, did you mention that thing? It was like, so it's masked in there. Oh, I was getting through my emotions. I wasn't, because I don't remember what I said.
Yeah.
So yeah, bro, all of that, and then one New Year's Eve, we were out with a friend again. New Year's Eve different when you have children, having a really beautiful meal. We got a snazzy tropical cocktail, and I was just like, that was like $8 or something, and I'm drinking, going. I remember going, I don't like this. I don't need this. I don't want this. I don't want the hangover. I don't care. And I was like, Jess, let's stop drinking. She's like, okay. And that was two and a bit years, 2.5 years ago.
So you were still in
There you
Sri
go.
Lanka then?
Still in Sri Lanka, and then we're coming back to England. To your point about like COVID shifted a lot of stuff. It was still like post-COVID-y. People were going out, we didn't like slip back into a social group. We were like, we were on our own. We were like house sitting. So there wasn't that pull to the pub, which I'm grateful for because it enforced me to just go, this is the habit. And now I just don't care.
Interesting.
And interestingly, differently to you, I haven't really been in too many situations. I don't go to the pub. There's like our social group here in Penzance. That doesn't even come up. It's like, you working out, you surfing, you going for a swim, let's meet in the park, have a walk. For me anyway.
Mm-hmm. So,
but the wedding thing or like, a mate's 50th, 40th, whatever, hasn't really come up. And I'm like, how would I fare in that situation? And that's a lot. I've been to the pub to meet a friend who was just like, I meet in the pub. And I'm like, all right. And I was like struggling to like drink like a lemonade for 2 hours because I'm like, I don't really even want to. Yeah. So that's the story, bro.
Yeah. Awesome, man.
Yeah.
It's really interesting because you've obviously 2 very different scenarios. One that maybe is a bit more surprising to people listening, that you were in Sri Lanka and that was a big part of your life. Yeah. But I get it. When I know you were living there, but when I've spent time in other places, there's almost this kind of, oh, this isn't real life. This is just fun every day. Yeah. This is holiday every day, which is a cool feeling. But also it can lead to that kind of side of things as well, a bit more hedonism.
And that's it, man. It was our life, but the way we socialized is it's 90% tourists. So yes, we had some long-term expat friends, but you go to the bar to see friends and there's all these people and they're all on this level.
And they're ready for it because they're on holiday.
They're 1 week and they're probably going to try and get healthy when they get home. But
yeah. And then on the flip side, I came from the London scene, which probably people can relate more to because drinking is almost like essential for just socializing there
and business.
and business.
Like I remember when I had my production company in Brighton, you'd go for a boozy lunch.
Mm-hmm.
Or you go into London, and I remember sitting in a bar with someone for like 4 hours at lunchtime, and coming out. I remember being like 3:30, like drunk, bordering hungover. But that's what you did. Certainly in the media world and advertising world, right?
And it's so deeply ingrained. I could not see it. I could not see it at all. In fact, I had a little bit of awareness of it. For me, it was kind of the final frontier in a way, but I wasn't really aware of that being the case. Mm-hmm. So I was training, eating well, like doing all the things, but I would still binge drink like 2 or 3 times a week.
Because that's what everyone does.
I didn't. Yeah, it was just this is it. I never questioned it.
Yeah,
I obviously knew. I knew deep down that alcohol wasn't great for me, but it never really crossed my mind. I guess also when you don't have a family and like many responsibilities, as many responsibilities, you kind of don't question it as much because you don't have to show up as much. Like you just show up for yourself.
Sleep it off the next day. It's okay. Yeah.
But I mentioned this on an earlier episode, but how I remember probably the year before, maybe like the year before I met Morgan, it was like Christmas and I said to my mum, she had 1 glass of wine. I was like, oh, come on, mum, like have another glass of wine, like have a little fun.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember I said that?
Yeah.
And that just shows how deep it was that I couldn't even empathize with someone else's reasons for not doing it. I could not even comprehend why my mum wouldn't want to drink more wine.
Yeah. Well, I remember you saying that, and it's like, and I'm with you, man. I remember younger, I had a friend called Mike who didn't drink, and all through those teen years, he was like the straight edge punk kid, you know. So it was like a thing, and being like, "Whoa, this is weird," but also kind of cool. Like, how do you do that? But it is. And have you ever had that thing when someone goes, "Why don't you drink? You're not having a beer?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Why is this weird?" It's nothing is good about alcohol. It's not doing anything good for us, but it is such a part of our culture. And I'll say, and I won't comment on the States because I grew up there as a child, but I didn't, certainly in England. And I remember this, and maybe this is part of why it was always, I was aware. So I remember when we moved to England, we were like 13, 14, and I was walking through town with my dad. We don't have pubs in America. You have bars. But you go to the bar to get drunk, typically. Whereas in England, the pub is like, you pop in there for lunch, have a pint and carry on with your day. Or, yes, you get drunk there. But it's a social hub, right? I was like, what are these, Dad? You know, the Red Lion and the White Hart, all these pubs. Like, what are these? Shout out White Hart. Used to let us in there at fucking 14 years old. I mean, what? Anyway. And he's like, oh, these are, he said, don't get caught up in pub culture. There's not, my dad didn't drink. I mean, have a glass of wine on a Friday kind of thing. Don't get caught up in that pub culture. There's nothing good for you there or something like that. And so at 14, I was like, so I've never liked the pub guy. As I grew older, yeah, Friday nights in the pub, business lunches in the pub. But so there was some part of me that was like, this isn't, while I was drinking, also like, there's something. Took me a long time to work out.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay, here's a question. Do you, looking back over your whole drinking career up until when you retired,
good at it, yeah.
Are there any, do you regret any of that? And I guess more on the sense of the longer it went on, there's more chance of regret. I did this thing that I regret. Yeah. More like the actual, how long it carried on for, I guess, is what I'm asking.
Yeah, man. I'll say this, that like without like, as you say, that story, that one time I did this thing, none of that, but I don't regret any choices I've made in my life because it's led me to be exactly here, to sit here with you and do this life. It's like every single beer I had, every single step I took. So I try and frame my life around that. Like the mistakes are how I am doing what I am doing. Makes me more suitable to do this line of work, all this stuff, right? So I just wanted to say that because that's what came up. And the things that I regret would be like everything working on the...
Yeah. I'm just going to plug it in.
Yeah,
keep going.
It's like it's like the pain I caused myself and potentially and definitely others,
Mhm.
read girls, that I'm not proud of, possibly led me to have more weight to shift metaphorically, energetically at a later date. So all the pain that I caused to others, the actions I took, the way I didn't handle things that would have been bothering me and hid them with booze, that might be a regret. Does that make sense? So if I'd stopped drinking in my 20s, I could have faced some of the things I was hiding with getting drunk. Only now do I realize that getting drunk was a way to try and hide
Very interesting.
feelings, emotions, situations, challenges in my life.
Yeah.
Like to like be really specific, let's say a breakup. Oh, I got dumped, right, I'm going to go and get smashed and get in the pub and drink shots and be wild. Well, that didn't do. It felt funny at the time, but the more over the years of doing that, you know,
Yeah.
that's the example.
It's kind of interesting that you can do. Well, I was just about basically what I was about to say was,
Yeah.
oh, I don't ever think when I drank it was as a reaction to something, but I think that is the lack of awareness because a lot of the time it probably is a numbing mechanism. There's a habitual
100%.
element, but
100%.
it is numbing you.
Well, look at street drinkers. Those, and God bless those people that end up sitting on a street with a bottle of cider at 6 a.m. and all day long, right? Why are they? What's the alcohol like? Is that going to help them off the street? Definitely not.
No.
They're like, it's literally numbing the
reality
pain of their situation. Now, we weren't homeless. God bless our families for looking after us. But what were we numbing? There's definitely an element to that.
Yeah.
And it still is.
Looking back over my career.
Yeah. I'm sorry, man. I ask you that. Yeah, exactly.
I don't regret. I definitely don't regret the discovery years.
Yeah.
Like being in some crazy club with like some amazing DJ playing, like absolutely just living.
Not caring.
Like I love that. That was amazing. And I don't regret that. And I agree that all those decisions have led to here. I think for me, the one thing that I do regret is knowing now the clarity that I have through not drinking.
Yeah.
And obviously this is tied up in maturity and age and all of this, but I do genuinely feel my productivity is almost too weak, but just my ability to like thrive and live since I stopped drinking, which is also when I had kids as well, which is an extra motivating factor. So there's different elements tied up, but I honestly feel like the last 4 to 5 years of my life has been just my best. I've been living my best life most of the time. Whereas I look back kind of, living best life. And then that kind of 25 to 30 where wasn't traveling as much, a bit more settled in London, kind of going through the motions a little bit, drinking, not any more than I was before, but still 3 times a week. I think I was just missing there was just a bit of fire that just wasn't there. Bro. And a lot of that was released by just thinking going out was doing the thing. But it really wasn't.
This is part of life. This is how I let my hair down. I work so hard. I do well. I train. I've got my business going. I'm talking to, I'm surfing a lot. I'm fit. This is fine. I can do 9, 10 beers on a Friday. That's all right. And sleep most of Saturday and then eat shitty food because my body's like, just go and get McDonald's and eat donuts, like sugar me up, pass out, watch.
I was honestly the king of discipline on that. I'd go to.
Oh, okay.
However drunk I was, I'd be like, I'll take the grilled chicken, please.
Right. Yeah, nice. I was not that guy. I'm saying that, I probably have had about 3 kebabs in my entire life.
Yeah.
There was something about like, this doesn't
I
feel
actually
good.
remember the last kebab I had.
Right.
It was in Huddersfield and I was 15.
Right.
That was the first and last, I think.
Right, amazing.
Donna.
Horrific.
Anyway.
Yeah, so that's another part of like regret, like we're talking about, like the, let's say, not mistakes, but learnings or rememberings of those times. Is it's not just the alcohol going in, it's like the energy, how you're showing up in life, what then goes into my body to like refuel. For me, it would often then linked with smoking cigarettes. I grew up in a time where we could smoke in the pub, which is mental. So I would just chain smoke fags when I'm drunk, come back, go, oh, like it's all wrapped up. I'm not saying that alcohol equals smoking. It did for me, and I think about it now as that. So I guess, and something we were going to talk about this a few weeks ago, and I remember going because I'd read this whole bit about alcohol, and it goes back to like ancient ancestral times of Native American Indians, right? So there's a long fabled story that the colonizers brought over alcohol and it kind of screwed everyone up and blah blah blah.
That's not true, though.
That's not true. They had alcohol, but they used it in a ceremonial way. So, like the peace pipe, you'd sit in a circle and everyone would have this sip and it would be a ceremonial thing. That's incredible. And they called it, I can't remember the term, but it was the word spirits because it evoked some spirits, good and bad, within. And so it was like a ceremony. We're going to evoke our spirits. And then the name spirits for booze, typically, like liquor, I guess, not beer. So when it's not held in a ceremonial way and we're just tanking spirits, what's coming out? Well, in my experience, I was never the violent drunk, but I knew a lot. The dark drunk, when you're like, uh-oh, mate, he's had a few, we're going to get fighty now. That's what it's doing. And yeah, then you got the fun guy and you're like, wow, who's this guy? And that was probably more my thing, like kind of mask it with being crazy.
Yeah.
And man, I had loads of fun.
Well,
but
this
the
is the
spirits
thing.
that invoking, right? It's the energy that we...
I've got so many fond memories that alcohol has been a catalyst for.
Well, let's do something without, because it's easy to then, because in my head, I'm like, all the funny stuff that's probably not podcast appropriate. I don't want the world to know. But maybe let's look at like something that alcohol like enabled you to do that you're like really glad that right.
Yeah,
meeting someone or letting you, I don't know.
Good question, yeah.
I can't think of my answer yet.
Well, I think when I think of where has alcohol made me the most happy?
Yeah.
That's not good English. Happiest.
I hear you though.
What always comes to mind for me is in London, it's like a beautiful sunny day and you go for a drink at like 11 o'clock and you do like the day sesh. So like outdoor pub, outdoor like club, and there's no plan. And the alcohol just allows you to just go fully with the flow. As in, we don't know where we're going. We don't know where we're going to end up. We don't know how long we're going to stay out for. It's just we are leaving the house at 11. We'll probably get lunch somewhere, maybe go to some shop.
At my own house.
Bump into some mates. The group gets bigger, it gets smaller. You end up at some random person's house. Just that whole life can sometimes feel so just like predictable and regimented. And those days I absolutely loved. The things that I hated was just the sad, just very mundane, just doing it for the sake of it nights.
Or did you ever have those nights when you're suddenly like, I don't know, it's that weird time where, I don't know, nobody wanted to go to the club, but you're sort of stuck on your own a bit and you're like, I'm in town and I've got like a tenner and I'm going to drape myself home and like those things. And that can happen without booze. Oh, and it's funny when you say that, man, I'm like, wow. Can that exist without alcohol? That like free-flowing life. We're parents now, very different. I went to a festival on Saturday.
Yeah.
With a good mate of ours, Natty. And it was different because I had to run a workshop in the middle, but I don't use these terms. Jessamine was looking after the children and I had the day to be with my friend and that was fine. There was no expectation. If you're not back for bedtime, just stay as long as you want. So I had this like left the house at 9:30. I knew I'd get home. And it was beautiful.
Yeah.
And we'd sit and we'd chat and then be like, there's a band over there. Let's go and sit over there and stand and watch.
Yeah, so there was
a flow.
Yeah.
And it's hard with kids because we can't do that with kids as you can't flow so much.
Well, I don't know.
So it is possible without, and neither of us drank. He had one beer because he was like, it's a festival.
I was going to say, Maisie Day was kind of like that with the kids though.
Yeah.
Just kind of, Axel was at the parade at 9 o'clock or whatever time it was.
True.
And then we did that. And then it was kind of, let's mosey over there. I'm going to grab some lunch. Like, we're going to go to that. Let's go to the park.
Yeah.
There's some kids there. Let's get an ice cream. So there was a bit of, obviously the
Yeah.
environment like nurtured that. But yeah, you're right. Actually, it was a similar feeling. Actually,
Because and if you think, so Maisie Day for me, I had that. I also had and I also had this at the festival, a feeling of overwhelm. Like my nervous system was like, whoa, lots of people, lots of noise, all the decisions to make. And I think back to those fondest memories of like, oh, there's Jay. Oh, we're now hanging out with that. Oh, it was beautiful. And I had zero awareness of really what was going on around me at a certain point when you're like, oh, let's go down here. So all of that noise, all of that like stuff that's going on, I was numb to, which allowed me to be like, yeah, la la la. But that still existed and it was still affecting me. I
yeah,
didn't know about it. So that hangover is alcohol, la la la. It was also like, whoa, 45 conversations all at once, really deep, oh, flirting, oh, a bit fighty, uh-oh, da da da. All was happening. I was just like, la 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 la
yeah.
la.
That's what I've actually realised from. I've been to 3 stags and like maybe 3 or 4, maybe even 5 weddings now, and I've actually realised that you still do feel exhausted the next day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not drinking, and I'm not saying that as a reason to just go, oh, may as well
Might as well
drink.
drink.
It's nowhere near as worse.
No.
It's like 1%.
Hey.
But there's a fatigue from obviously going to bed late, but there's also like a cognitive fatigue, which I think was kind of what you were alluding to there.
That's exactly. So the festival is Saturday. It's what day is it? Wednesday. And I'm like, yesterday was like, whew, you know, we ate good. I mean, it's festival food, but I had like a burger with no crap, and I had what else did I have? I don't know what I had, but it was a pretty good feed. We walked around a lot. We were in the sunshine, but there was noise and people. My nervous system was like, oh, I just wanted to sit in a silent room and just cuddle a pillow for a bit. But I can know that now.
Yeah.
So we went up to the car park at some point, and we lay in the car park where it's quiet and put our legs up the car and just didn't talk for 10 minutes. And we're like, we can go back now. As an adult or anyone who can like tap in and do that, that's how we reset. And we weren't resetting. We, as you say, start at 11, get home at 2 in the morning, up at 9, and sort of get on with it.
Yeah.
We were living in a state of fight and flight, essentially, of a shutdown. And then think about going to work. You do a midweeker, and then you got a meeting or at 9:30 or something, and have to be at your desk. Remember those days?
Yeah. Well, kind of, but yeah, it's crazy, man. The difference in. I mean, it's weird, really, because it's not a difference in the sense that you feel elevated. You kind of do, but you're actually returning to normal, because it's not that your alcohol isn't normal and then you start feeling way better. You're actually just, this is how you're supposed to feel.
Yeah.
And we say it to clients, right? We say, if they're eating junk food, if they're not exercising, if they're sat at a desk all day, if they're not prioritizing their sleep, they feel better, but they're actually just returning to how you're supposed to feel. Like, you are supposed to feel energetic. You're supposed to feel strong.
Ready to go. Yeah.
You're supposed to be ready to go.
Yeah.
Like, all of these things are actually normal. And in this modern world, what has actually happened is people aren't just, oh, it's because I'm old or whatever. They're actually, the modern society has moved them away from that baseline, and alcohol is just one of those contributing factors too. So what I feel right now is just how we're supposed to feel.
Bro, don't want to open the rabbit hole, but why, like, maybe be careful how I phrase this. Who does alcohol benefit? Like, what does it, if we look at society, what positive benefits does alcohol have?
What positive benefits does it have?
That aren't available without it.
That aren't available.
So my immediate answer is socializing.
Yeah, and I think it's a massive
positive. You without beer.
Surely alcohol is the biggest positive that's its biggest positive. And I don't think just because it has consequences, I shouldn't take away from the fact that it has a very positive effect.
We had solid careers of booze.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true. And we didn't. We've been friends a year. No booze exchanged. Look at the people we hang out with. I'll say I hang out with. A couple of guys have some drinks, but I certainly don't need to have drinks to hang out with them. So it's available, but we have been conditioned that this is how we do it.
Yeah, for
As
sure.
a teenager, I need to get drunk. Why do we know that? I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Older kids, I don't even know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not against alcohol at all. I think anything taken to its extreme, right? You could go, yeah, alcohol. Look at all the drunks on the street, like the bad relationships, people fighting, blah blah blah. But that's just looking at the extreme. Like you could go, oh, look at fitness. People who starve themselves and have eating disorders and like get injured from whatever. So you've got to look at more the mean rather than actually look at the extremes to really truly ask that question in an honest way.
Fair.
And I think alcohol, at the end of the day, like people do it it is a number. It's a thing to build your it's a confidence, not a builder, but maybe it allows it to flower.
Bro, you're right. You're 100% right. So conversation, confidence, right? Can we achieve those without it? Can humans?
We can, but it's a quick fix that actually works.
Yeah.
Well, temporarily.
Hey, so let's take the lens. Like, what's the quick fix in fitness?
To do that.
Do what?
What, do they work? Well, no.
No. What is the quick fix in having a good relationship with your wife? There's not one.
Get a cat.
Yeah, move.
Oh, let's have a baby. Let's get married.
Yeah, and people do that. And it doesn't fucking work.
No.
It doesn't work. And it's the same thing. And I'm just like, this is the reminder from me. It's like, yes, it's my experience. Something like that. Have some drinks. There's a really hot girl. I need to feel confident. I better go and talk.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and it worked. I met girlfriends and had relationships, and yeah, wonderful. But I know now, had me and this person that I found attractive had a conversation when we were both sober, and were able to have done the work to feel confident in ourselves, it would have been a way better start.
Very true.
Because how many times, I'll speak for myself, do I meet someone a bit drunk, maybe have a one night stand, or start even a relationship because I thought they were kind of cool and we did some stuff, and then being like, oh, wait a minute, the kind of crappy, crass way of like, and then you wake up in the morning, you look at her. Well, it's not the look, it's like the feeling of like, oh gosh, this isn't the right energy for me.
Yeah.
It's really fun. Whoa, they're hot, they're silly. Uh-oh, shit.
Well, you kind of skip a lot of basic relationship levels straight away. So whether you sleep with them or not.
No,
like
exactly.
you go to like level 8 when you haven't even worked through sort of level 1.
Yeah.
Because for example, having just moved house, like we've obviously met our neighbours, we've chatted to them, and it's just so interesting to observe that relationship development. You have the initial just, oh, hi, nice to meet you, and then you have a longer conversation, talk about some deeper things.
Yeah.
Then you get invited around for coffee, and then it's like, oh, come over for a barbecue.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, mate, can you just come and help me like move this?
And
do you know what I mean?
Be like, hey, I'm having some troubles at work. Do you know how to? And then you get deepen.
But you miss that.
But we just go, bang, away, we're best friends. Whoa. And that can be with friendships too. Oh, Jake's so fun at the bar. He had a great time. Wait a minute, I don't know how to speak to him about the thing because,
dude. So I can literally think of so many friends that our relationship was just based on going out, which I love them, but I don't actually. I feel like I'm missing for someone that I've known for so long.
Right.
I hear that a lot. Many. I wouldn't actually be able to have a proper
how many
conversation with.
My work, the men's work stuff, that is basically every single man at every single point is like, I've got mates. I've never talked like this to them. I'm a stranger. Pardon me. Or you're in a group of 50, 20, 10, walk a dance club. Some of us walk in there, we're like, whoa. But we've all friends that we have this like fun thing. Is it always based on alcohol? No, there's also social conditioning about being vulnerable and stuff. But alcohol like bypasses, as you say, levels 1 to 6. Bang, your best mate, you're in a relationship. Oh, it's trouble. Let's go down the pub, honey, and get smashed. Yeah, it's fun again, right?
Yeah. So we've talked about one side of alcohol, which is a few sides. Maybe it's the partying and going out when you're younger, the exploration, cool. Then the sort of pub thing, which can definitely, I'm thinking in terms of seasons of life. The pub thing is still present for some guys in our season.
Yeah.
But a lot of guys, that kind of goes away.
Yeah.
But the one that remains and can sometimes persist till end of day is just that drinking like normalized on an evening.
Yeah.
Every night I drink a bottle of wine with dinner, or every night I crack open a beer. There's no ceremony.
Yeah.
There's no occasion.
Yeah.
It is literally
habit.
I've finished work, family dinner, and we do that. Again, no judgment, because I was
there.
I was getting towards that a little bit.
Yeah.
Getting towards late 20s, early 30s. Like mine was starting to move into that a little bit more. So maybe let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah,
because
man.
most of the guys that we work with would be more within that phase.
Yeah,
they're not like clubbing.
No.
Most of them.
No.
Regular at least. There might be a few that are doing the pub thing, like some of the younger clients, but most of them will be more that, I just have a bottle of wine with dinner.
How many of our clients like, I kind of stopped drinking? How many conversations in the group about 0% booze? It's great.
Yeah.
Shout out our clients. I was that guy nearly 3 years ago. We had a slab of Lion beer in the fridge, and about come darkness, let's have a can. That's what I did. And what I'll say, man, is from my experience, and I know this to be true from the work I've done with men, is that it's a habit and it's also a numbing again. It's back to that. Rough day at work, fucking hell. It's like the cliche, been in the factory all day slogging, this is my little treat. And I can just numb away what I want to say, feel, and think about.
So let's maybe analyze that a little bit, because I agree there's two elements. There's the habit that you do it because you do it. Like, we can build positive habits and negative habits or something in between. And then I agree there's what has that habit developed for? Like there's a purpose for a habit, and it's some kind of physiological response that you get from the behavior. So I think the habit itself, that can come from just years of doing it, right? Like habits are formed in strange ways, and it could have been summer 2007 where there was loads of nice days and you did loads of pub garden parties and you were drinking, and then after that phase ended, you just kept having a beer after dinner, and then suddenly fast forward 20 years and like that's still a habit. So it's not always, habits can be formed in like very interesting ways.
Yeah. I'm getting my phone because as we're talking, Jake, I'm like, what's the difference between habit and addiction?
Ooh.
So I'm looking this up.
Well, I think there's a definite physiological response that's different, right? Addiction would be an actual physiological need, whereas a habit is more of a passive behavior, I would say.
Just the definition, a habit is a repeated behavior that becomes automatic over time, can be positive or negative. An addiction is a compulsive behavior driven by craving and loss of control, despite knowing the negative consequences. So,
guys.
Yeah.
But this is the thing about alcohol, and going back to the thing about what I said to my mum.
Yeah.
What I could not understand why, when you're on the outside of it, then you do start going, this maybe wasn't what I thought it was for me. And the thing about alcohol is it's so normalized in society. And for some reason, the weird thing is, right, you've traveled a lot, man. England seems to get this bad rep of like, it's English booze all the time. But every bloody country I've gone to, everyone's drunk all the time.
America less so, but yeah.
Yeah, but they're still pissed all the time. Still drinking those whiskeys, like.
See, there's a difference. Yeah.
And people always say,
you're right,
always go,
Australia.
but in Spain, it's with food and stuff. Dude, if you go out at 12 o'clock in any Spanish city, like everyone's going to be partying.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's...
No.
But the thing with alcohol is, like what point does it get to? If I've been drinking from the age of like 15, 14 years old, and I continue that behavior, and I'm still doing it now, like when has the addiction line been crossed? Let's say I have 20 good friends, or 20 good friends, right?
Yeah.
And everyone's still drinking in that group from when we were 15 years old. Are they all just doing it out of habit still? Like, there's how many of those are actually now addicted?
I'd say that addiction is as you were saying, is the Tuesday night couple of tinnies, the Wednesday night bottle of wine, Thursday bit of a bender because it's near the end of the week.
Because if you were just doing heroin,
right?
If you were just sat doing heroin, watching like the Spice Girls movie.
Smoking cigarettes, habit or addiction.
Well, it's considered an addiction straight away.
Right.
Anyone having a cigarette in the day and it's addiction.
Right.
Sit at night and it's like, oh, I'll just have a few on a night out.
Yeah, but
yeah.
And
So,
I fall into that. It's I know tobacco. We won't get started on that topic, but is an addiction. So, but booze, heroin, weed. If you're smoking 4 joints a night, like, you got a problem, mate. 4 beers though, no worries. Arguably, and I'm not opening that can of the difference, but right, why is booze?
yeah.
And the can I started opening earlier that I was like reluctant to go down is there is a form of control.
In what sense?
It's controlling the population. I'm not saying there's an evil puppet at the top going, well, I'm going to get you all drunk. But if we are spending, how much is a booze now? At the festival now, you spent £9 on a pint. Gets a festival. I don't even know, what does it cost in a pub? Probably
£6 nowadays.
Right. So it's £6 for a drink. Let's say you have a couple, you go with your partner, you can spend 30 quid on booze. Right. So you're spending money. We know cost of living's tough. It's hard. There's the money. You're spending money. The energy that we operate in when we have under the influence of alcohol, we've touched on this, is not optimal. It is not our base level. We are subpar. So when we are operating in that level and we don't have the money, our energy's down. Physically, I'm tired and I'm a bit knackered. And I'm also a bit like, fucking hell, that sort of hangover dread of like the world's going to end kind of feeling. I can't create anything beautiful. I can't produce positivity. And so if we look at like the world and what's going on out there right now, which neither of us watch the news, but I understand it to be kind of gnarly. And I'm not saying booze is the only thing. If everyone is up here at our base level, being good, positive, energetic, encouraging, compassionate, loving, I think we've got a better chance. Alcohol is dumbing it down. And again, I'm not like, oh, there's a puppet making us. The way the system has been set up, how many pubs are on this high street? There's 1 there, 2, 3. There's like 5 pubs in 500 meters and a booze shop, 2 booze shops if you can't count.
And it's normalized.
But
then the other side of that coin is prohibition was one of the worst things that ever happened, in the sense of the way that it changed the actual underground scene of alcohol. And then the crime increased, and then the people in prison increased, and when it became illegal, then even worse things happened. So there has been control that's tried to action that. And that's what you see with the war on drugs, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's been so like stamped out, and it's actually had a way shitter effect. Like, there's some crazy facts. I think it's 80% of people in prison in America, which has the most imprisoned police in the world, imprisoned people in the world, is through drugs. It might even be higher. Kind of different topic, but you get what I'm saying.
Oh, bro. So
it's such a difficult.
So the thread on the prohibition. So previously, alcohol was used in ceremony by the Native American Indians, because prohibition is America, right? Was used in ceremony. I don't know the history. Were we drinking alcohol when we arrived there? Probably. I don't know. I'm not a historian, but anything used in ceremony by the native people was quickly stamped out, because this is not the way. You do it our way. So then it's like crazy. Oh, the crazy drunks. The people are wild on this stuff. Look at like the proliferation of things like ayahuasca and psilocybin mushroom journeys, and now people are like, oh, this stuff is actually really beneficial when managed properly, not just binged.
Well, it's kind of funny, because if you were to isolate alcohol, and you and me, we got together, we put some nice music on in a safe environment, and we drank, there would actually be some great stuff going on, because
we had off.
Just loosen some conversation and
get
you into deeper places.
Absinthe wasn't what's old mate cut his ear off with painting the Sistine Chapel. Wasn't he on absinthe all the time? Van Gogh, all these dudes. There can be beautiful things, and we're going on a bit of a ramble here, but
let's get back to the habit.
Back to the habit and the thing. Like it's because we're going to wrap up soon.
Habit
when used ceremoniously. It's Friday night. You and the family are coming over for dinner. I've chosen this really lovely wine. It's maybe been stored for a bit because I really want to. And we're sharing this glass of wine, and it's like, hey, smell how beautiful. Cheers. But how are you? That's amazing. Tuesday night. You know,
So when that's also an interesting one as well, because alcohol beyond the actual alcohol can be enjoyable. Because now I love a 0% beer. Is that because why is that?
yeah.
Well,
Do
I
you
almost,
actually?
to be honest, I actually almost repeat similar behaviors to what I did when I was drinking, but the volume is much lower. So it might be busy day at work, like it's a nice day, kids are playing outside, we have a barbecue for dinner, and I crack a cold 0%. That's a refreshing. There's lots to it, which is again why alcohol is so difficult. Not because it's societally normalized, but also because it isn't just the alcohol. Just to go, we can't just brush everyone that drinks with the same brush and go, it's because you're addicted to the thing that alcohol has an impact on. There's also the ceremony, the ritual, the feeling, the actual taste itself. Wine is amazing. It's epic.
Pint of Guinness, I quite like the taste.
Yeah, exactly. It's related to being around people and community and socializing. So good food, feeling at home in the heart, like warmth in the heart. There's so many things tied up in it. So that's even why it's harder to identify that person's got a habit and that person's got an addiction.
Could that feeling you get with that sun, I can picture it in your lovely garden with the family and the sun and the meats on. Could that feeling that you're looking for with the beer be somehow linked to some childhood, young adolescent memory? So this is what I do. I don't know.
Like, no, I would say it's more linked to some of my like personal youth experiences, like traveling.
Yeah,
and you're in a hostel.
It's hot,
and you've been for a surf, and then, like kind of the Sri Lanka vibe, like, and you crack a beer after a surf,
so
and you meet new people.
Yeah.
Also, I guess maybe family being together for a family meal. Like my mum and dad have a glass of wine. When I got older, maybe I had like a beer or a glass of wine, and just the family being together. So that is, to me, that is the ritual part of it that still exists in the culture.
And I'm not.
So I don't think that was lost.
No, and I'm just exploring this. Like, what's your favorite non-alcoholic drink? If you're out and you wanted to order something or make something yourself, what would it be? Not coffee.
I like a tomato juice actually.
Cool.
I was going. I mean, water, right? I love water.
Basically, all I drink. But if I'm like, ooh, I'll have like an elderflower, sparkling elderflower.
Okay, cool.
So I guess my question is, would that barbecue be as enjoyable with an elderflower or a tomato juice or a nice?
What, as opposed to a 0%?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a different experience.
Yeah, and
I would actually say like a cold lemonade is closer to a beer though than any of those. So probably similar.
So could you? Hey, maybe this is a challenge. So for the next couple of weeks, could you have a sparkling lemonade and just see what happens?
Well, yeah, I'll go weeks.
And then what's the habit and the addiction?
Yeah.
I'm not saying. I'm just like curious.
Yeah, I guess there's a nostalgia element. For me. But I do like it as well. I'm not just forcing myself to drink it.
No, and this is something to explore, everyone. Like, are we searching for nostalgia? Going to the pub is when I was at uni. We'd all sit around and have shits and giggles. Am I looking for that still?
Yeah.
Am I looking for the escapism of having a free day, but actually I've only got 2 hours because I've got 3 kids now?
Yeah.
I don't know because I don't drink.
But I'll tell you one thing you notice that's just a bit of a sidebar, but really interesting about alcohol is when you go to one of those stags and there's a 20 pack of 0% beers in the fridge, you have 2 and you literally can't drink another one. Right. You literally cannot drink another one for the actual volume of liquid.
Okay, yeah.
And the bubbles. So to imagine myself drinking 10 pints,
the actual
physical volume is crazy.
Yeah.
Because you notice it when you're not drunk.
Right. Like, where else do we drink? I'm sitting for dinner and I have 12 lemonades.
Pints of water.
Or pints of water even. It's mental, right? Like, I'm like, I need to piss after that little coffee. I know it was coffee, but yeah, we sit there and we'd all be pissing every 5 minutes.
Imagine that. Yeah. Do you want to just go for some 12 pints of water over the next hours?
Should we go and take 16 tomato juices? No.
But yeah, so obviously we framed at the start like there's no judgment. Like I have drank all my life and this is like a relatively new thing for me.
Right.
Do we want to give any advice on this one?
So if we're asking for some advice here, whether you're drinking once a week, 5 times a week, all week, lunchtime and breakfast, if you're doing that, look for AA, man. You need some support there. But if you're, like aware. Maybe you're thinking, "Oh, I don't know, maybe booze isn't right." My invitation is to stop for a week and see what happens. Replace that with a elderflower tomato to your pick. Try even go zero, not the 0%, and just see what happens. And maybe, and then also inquire to yourself, like journal, speak on it. Why am I drinking? Do I need to drink this glass of wine, this bottle of beer? And not to take away the enjoyment of it, like I enjoy a coffee or something, or a naughty croissant now and again. But yeah, just ask, like, do I want, why am I doing it? And then maybe when you've explored that, like, do I need it? And then maybe after that, like, yeah, or not. Do you?
Yeah, I agree. I think I mirror a lot of those things. I think the first one for me, rather than necessarily stopping, is just asking yourself, like, just being honest with yourself
Yeah.
and going, like, what is this in my life? Like, what part does it play? If you're just having one glass of wine with a meal once a week, then it's not even a necessary practice. Like, I would almost, even though I don't drink, I would say I'm still in that category because it's not a black and white thing.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are having a drink like every other night and you're having 3 beers or a bottle of wine
Mm-hmm.
and you're going out for meals all the time and drinking's involved, I would definitely suggest,
Yeah.
like, just
Inquiring
sitting down and
yourself.
just the journal.
Yeah.
What is this serving for me right now? And just actually like acknowledging how it makes you feel and how it like the implications on your life.
Because if you're listening to this, you're in our, you know what we're doing over here, and if you're a client, you've asked yourself these questions about your health generally, or how you eat, how you look and feel with your energy. This is another piece of that puzzle. It is. And we should probably talk about sugar and coffee as part of this too, because it's also a similar thing.
I might add that we've never asked a client to not drink either.
100% not.
Never.
Only if his clients ask me and they're like, "Oh, this and that," I'll be like, "Well,
yeah," but we would
don't
never serve
stop.
that information
Absolutely
straight to
not.
them.
No. And, there's loads of studies about, oh, red wine is good for the heart. I don't have a view on that. Maybe it is. I don't know.
I mean, it's everything's on a scale of pros and cons, and I would say that it's a small pro.
And most of those studies potentially funded by the alcohol company.
You could just eat grapes as well.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's a tricky one. I feel like we've navigated that with hopefully not upsetting anyone.
No, definitely not.
I
mean, we've talked mainly about our experiences.
Yeah.
We've both drank a lot. It's not like we're coming from a high horse position at all. Maybe just for the last couple of minutes, what have you noticed change in your life? Life being anything that comes to mind since alcohol has not been a part of it. Because that's what people want to know, don't they? If I do this, what am I going to get?
My number one thing is deeper connections with other human beings. The ones that because I actually want to and have to, like, make an effort to connect with them. That's mine. Nice.
Shall I answer it as well?
Yours, yeah. I was waiting for yours.
I was waiting for the invitation.
Take. What's the number one thing you've noticed that's changed in your life?
Yeah. So, I definitely agree with that, of greater connections. But with that, I would say the actual skill of being able to connect with people. And ironically, the things that alcohol gives you, I am now stronger in because I didn't get them for free.
Like
confidence. I honestly feel I could walk into any social situation and feel 100% comfortable. Yeah. Whether I was just sat there by myself or whether I had to go initiate conversation.
Yeah.
I honestly feel like I could stand on a stage and speak. Beautiful. And I do feel that's from not drinking. It sounds like kind of a tenuous tie, but there's just this confidence of I can be fully lucid in order to do everything that I want to do. Beautiful. And then the other one is the ability to be productive and take action has been massively enhanced. I honestly feel like I've just got more time. It's a weird thing. Energy, time. Yeah. Since the beginning of this, vitality.
Yeah.
There's so many things in your life that are going to drag you down. There's going to be stress.
Yeah.
There's going to be busy days. Young kids, relationships.
Here you go. And this is a choice you can make quite easily.
Yeah, exactly.
You
right.
can control this choice.
Yeah.
You can't maybe control your work environment.
And going back to the first thing, it was like, why did you stop? How did you stop? That was it for me. That realization. I was like, I am waking up 5 times a night for a baby.
Yeah.
How could I possibly make that worse for myself?
Yeah.
And that was it for me and Morgan.
Done.
We had that conversation and we thought, I can't afford to lose sleep right now because everything else will suffer. And then it just went
back to the why with everything, fitness, nutrition, all of this stuff. If you don't have a problem, if you do this exercise of exploring yourself and checking and journaling, that's great. Don't worry about it. If there is some like, the kids, work, or my brain, or my fog, and as we get older, our recovery time for anything, whether it's working out, sleeping, drinking, hangover, heavy meals, takes longer. This just does.
Yeah.
Particularly those of us into our 40s. Do yourself a favor and find your ways to optimize getting healthy and full of energy.
Great.
That's what I'd say.
Well, lots of love, guys. If you have any questions about alcohol from like our experience of it, if anything stood out to you, or if you are interested
and maybe
have any questions.
And a disclaimer, if this is a problem for you, because it can be, right? This is an addiction that can cause some pretty serious shit. Reach out for some help, like straight up. Alcoholics Anonymous, message Jake or I will point you some directions. Like it's not a joke also. So if you're at that end, yeah, we're here for it.
Cool.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Peace.